Hello everyone and welcome to Pearls of Fisdom with Nirmal Bang. I'm Avan Dabash. Yes, we're in the throes of the festive season and we want to find out, are individual sectors seeing a bump up in demand or is there a marked slowdown? So today we put the spotlight on the ethnic wear and the shopping industry to find out just that. Joining me right now is Sidhant Keshwani. He's the founder and CEO of ethnic wear brand Libas. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining in. I want to start off by just understanding what's happening when it comes to demand, because no doubt there was a slowdown, especially in the mass segment. Is that something that you're anticipating, or will the festive season put all those worries at bay and things will really improve?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show. Last few months on its own have been a little slow. I think the way this year started, everybody had a very negative kind of an outlook towards how things are going to go. There were a lot of question marks, but surprisingly, we've seen, starting August, September, especially October now, the overall festive consumption and demand is on the higher side. And we are seeing that trend both online and offline. The stores are kind of packed with consumers. The online traffic during the sales, the major flagship sales that these big marketplaces have, the traffic has been at an all-time high. So what we're definitely seeing some positive trend, and we are hoping this would last, say, post Diwali as well. In the coming few months as well.
So where does that leave you? Do you think that the targets that you had set out, which was, I think, 30 to 40% increase in your overall projections, does that stand? Are you revising your projections downwards?
So honestly, as a brand, if you look at it, we are of course expanding our portfolio very aggressively. So we might be looking at a higher growth, more than the 20-25% number. But yes, if I look at like-to-like growth and like-to-like channels, we are expecting somewhere around 25 to 50%, and that's what honestly we've achieved so far as well. In the last 15 days of September and the first few days of October as well.
And what exactly is Libas doing to stay at the forefront of this? Because I know that, a lot of Indian brands are creating new collaborations, there's new collections, there's an omni-channel strategy that they're adopting. They are redefining how consumers engage with products. They're going ahead with personalization. What are you guys doing for the festive season?
We're doing tons of new things actually. This time we are seeing that, especially in the Indian wear space that we are in the fashion space, fusion wear is doing extremely well, and that's the trend that we saw, in the early days of, the early festivity which start around Rakhi, and we realized that, this is something that we could bet big on during the festive season. And I think a lot of newer silhouettes, people are looking for something different to wear because I think majority of the consumption is happening probably to step out with family, friends, Diwali parties, etc. Right? So we are seeing a huge trend towards fusion where people are looking at different silhouettes, different cuts, different embroideries. So that's actually been the flavor of the season for us this year.
And what about festive growth and demand when it comes to tier 2 and 3 regions? Is that growing, or are we seeing a more pronounced growth in the metros like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, etc.?
Yes, absolutely. So we've seen, post-COVID how, especially because we're a digital-first brand, right? So a lot of insights that we would normally have, we like strong first, because that's the majority of our business as well today. So yes, post-COVID, we've already seen how rapidly the whole tier two and tier three city kind of talent is increasing, and that's exactly what we are seeing this year as well. The majority of the newer customer, or rather the newer audiences, is coming from there, but the consumption is pretty evenly divided across the sector. Like whether it's metros, tier one, tier two, so I think it's pretty evenly divided. And but the newer customer base is rapidly growing from the smaller towns. So the overall average spending power in those towns have increased. We've seen the average bill sizes have increased because it was just the last few years, 2-3 years back, is when people from smaller towns started getting confidence. So overall, when they had started shopping, their bill sizes, the basket sizes were fairly lower because it was their first purchases that they were making in those years. And now that they're confident, has become a standard approach for them to shop, standard channel for them to shop. It's rapidly increasing. So
what about the average selling price? Is that aligning with what you guys had started out with? Or is there some sort of a marked slowdown that is reflecting in a lower average selling price? Are consumers now spending less?
No, the average selling price is definitely on the higher side. Like I just mentioned earlier, that we're also seeing that trend. The average bill value is also increased to. We used to be at an average bill value somewhere around 1.5, 1.6 up till say September, but last 1.5 months we've seen that going beyond 2.1, and even the bill values have now gone up, especially in the offline side of the business. It's going crossing somewhere around 6 to 7 thousand, so which is definitely a positive sign that people are showing great interest in kind of the consumption is kind of coming back to the normalcy which we had not seen in the last few months.
What are your expansion plans in terms of your offline stores? How many do you plan to open by the year?
Very aggressive. In fact, the idea for us over the next few months, are we planning to open somewhere around 4 to 5 stores every month. So in total, the plan is to be at somewhere around 100, doors by the end of next year. So that's what we are planning for. In fact, this month itself, we had opened like around 4 new stores, and all of them have been performing really well.
And you're also leveraging technology, I understand. Online is where you garner quite a bit of sales. So, what kind of growth are you anticipating online versus offline?
So, we're a fast fashion brand, right? So, being a fast fashion brand, technology is actually at the core of our business. Being a digital first business, uh, we kind of implement technology across the board, right? Starting from what to make, starting from the production side, right? Following it up with how to kind of place inventory across different warehouses. And most importantly, being a fast fashion brand, we're doing a lot of new things on a daily basis. And for us, it's extremely important to understand what people are liking. So we do like we have a model where we do like ultra fast capsules where we launch a new capsule almost 70 to 80 new options every week, and we kind of pick up, and we have a lot of systems that we've created in house, custom made to our requirements, where we understand what the customer is liking, and we kind of use those insights and kind of immediately within 30 to 45 days come up with newer styles, newer fashion to kind of reach our consumers faster, or probably adapt to newer trends much faster. So I mean, technology is definitely at the core, right, for any fast fashion business. And not just that, I mean, even from the supply side to the logistics side, the idea in today's time is that we've seen that how impatient people are, right? They want everything really fast, be it new trends, be it getting their deliveries on time, etc. So I think for us brands, it's become so crucial to kind of understand the pain points at such minute levels that we need to solve for everything, and I think the only way to do that is through tech. So we've been successfully been doing it over the last few years.
And what about inventory and supply chains? You're really going ahead and using very cutting edge technology and AI for that. Tell us a little bit more about how you can rotate and restock with the help of technology.
Yeah, absolutely. So, inventory management is, of course, a big problem, like for most brands in the fashion space, and we've kind of created like AI-based systems where, for example, something as basic as we have multiple warehouses across the country, and to be able to kind of reach our consumers faster, we've built in a system where probably we gather the last few months of data, and probably whenever we want to kind of distribute our merchandise across warehouses, with a click of a button, the algo is run where we get to know that probably this particular kurta or this particular suit is doing well in this particular city. So automatically the system will tell us that how to distribute it amongst our 7 to 8 warehouses across India. So we are doing that, and not just that. Like for example, today if I've launched a capsule of 80 options, right? Earlier, the whole process was so lengthy where it would take us about a month and a half to understand whether this product is doing well or not. But now, I mean, it's just a click of a button. We get a report that probably this is how the consumer is reacting. This is how the consumer is clicking. In fact, we even get to know how the photo shoot of the particular style is performing. We get to know within say a few hours. So our decision making on what's working and what's not working used to be say a 30-45 day period earlier, which has now been cut down to approximately 2 days, which kind of helps us as brands to manage our inventories and probably have smaller lot sizes, so that if something does not work, can be phased out quickly, and something that's working can be replicated quickly and kind of scaled up.
And you had previously raised some money from private equity investors. Will you look to continue to do that?
See, not as of now. We've just raised our round in May, so I mean, hopefully, we should be good for another year and a half. And I think we've been pretty managing our funds also pretty efficiently. We've been a profitable business since day one, so there's no dire need of funds unless until we kind of hit a spot where we feel that we can grow from say 10 to 100 within a few months. Just capital is a problem. Only then we look to raise. But as of now, no plans.
So, what is going to make you guys stand out? Because there is quite a bit of competition over there. Is it going to be your easy return policies, or maybe the fact that you have a great collection, or perhaps the fact that you're leveraging technology, your price points? What is it going to be?
Definitely 26, maybe yes, because I think we created a plan to open the next 100, stores, right? But to get from 150 to 500, we'll be looking at either raising funds to a private equity round or maybe looking at an IPO. Honestly, we have an IPO in the horizon as well, but that's still about 3 years away from us. Like we're looking at say sometime around 2027 is what our timelines are. Maybe we look to like raise one more round before that, probably sometime in next 1.5 years.
Okay, Sidhant, before we let you go, we've got a rapid fire round and we want to know in one word from you what the trends are for the festive season. So if you had one word to describe the festive season, what would it be?
So I think it's pretty, I would say it's pretty fast. That's what I would use. I mean, we just realized that October started and it's almost coming to an end.
Okay. What's trending? Is it kurtas? Is it lehengas? Is it quads? What is the big trend?
Quads all the way.
And what about colors? Are we going for pastel shades or is it bright and bold colors?
Bright and bold colors.
Are people following the Bollywood celebrities or are they following more model, ramp and fashion designers?
It's always Bollywood.
Who are you catering to as an audience more? Is it Gen Z or is it the millennials?
Tough question. So we overlap. I would say millennial.
And what's the big trend to watch out for in ethnic wear?
Layering. I think layering is going to play a lot of, like a big, it's going to be big in the next few months, especially in the winters.
Okay, that's super interesting. Thank you for giving us all of those details. And here's hoping that it's going to be nothing short of a dhamaka and fataka festive season. Thank you, Sidhant, for joining in.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to never miss an update from Nirmal Bang.